All right, guys. I thought that this angle would be a good angle, but I don't think it's gonna be a good angle. We're gonna have to come over here. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that look better. All right, how y'all doing, man? We about to get in here and talk about debt. Okay, today is a better hair day for me today. The last time I made a live, I was looking nappy. Now I just got my hair cut today, and I'm looking clean today. So I'm balancing it off. I had one bad hair day. Now we coming back, and we looking good out here. So we're gonna be talking about. If you guys missed the last live, we're gonna be talking about debt and why you need to pay off debt before you invest. So I'm about to just make sure the live is sounding well. Make sure we're all good, and then I'm gonna get okay. We're all good. We're good to go. Okay, so let me pull my notes up. I got my notes right here next to me, and let's get it. So debt. If you guys missed the last live, we were talking about having an emergency fund before you invest, and it's a great live. I recommend. I'm gonna cut it up into some shorts within the next day or two, but I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. I'm not just here trying to propagate myself and tell you to go tune into my other content. This stuff is life changing information, and it really will help you if you get into it. So the summation of the video, if you just don't have the time to watch me talk for 30 minutes, the summation of the video is that you want to have an emergency fund because you want to have an emergency fund before you invest, because life is unpredictable. Anything can happen. Anything is subject to happen at any time. So you want to have money where you can deal with things and not have to borrow to take care of stuff. So that's the first thing. You want to get an emergency fund before you invest. Okay. Don't put the horse before the water. I could go deeper into that, but that's not the scope of this live. People who have already watched that live, they're like, okay, dude, can you just start talking about what you're coming here to talk about? So yes, that's what I'm getting ready to do. So we're gonna talk about debt. Okay. So the first thing, the second thing, after you pay off, after you build up a nice emergency fund, you want to pay off all of your debt, all of it. Everything. And I'm gonna tell you guys, if you're young, please, young people, come here, listen to me. Come very closely, lean into the camera with me. If you're a young person, I'm saying young, I'm saying 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Young people, listen to me when I say this. I say this with all the love and care and admiration that I can give to the world. If you don't have any debt, please don't go get any. And if you do have a little bit of debt, don't get any more. Please. Now, I know some of us, we might have that credit card. You was in JC Penney or you was in one of these retail stores, and you're like, oh well, you get 25% off your entire purchase if you apply for this credit card. Of course, you're gonna get accepted. They're gonna give you like $200, $300, accept you, and you go get the credit card, and now here you are, you know, you got $300 on a credit card. Okay, then 6 months later, they say, oh, well, you've been doing such a good job of paying back this money. You know what? We're going to give you $1,000 limit. So then you got the $1,000 limit. You just went stupid. You went and bought a whole bunch of stuff for $1,000. And now you got to pay that back. And it's lingering over you. So I'm just giving you guys a micro example. I'm trying to be funny. But I know somebody who's literally done this. She went and got one of these retail cards, spent about $2,000-$3,000 on stuff, and she's sitting over here paying it back every month. So if you're in that predicament, it is okay. The world is not over because you owe two, three, four, $5,000. The world's not over. Okay. But I want to plead the young people, even old people, because some old people might not have a lot of debt. But typically, if you're younger, you're just entering your life. You might still be with your parents. You might still be driving the car they gave you, or some older paid for car. You don't have as much debt. Don't go get it. I'm gonna tell y'all, don't go get it. You might be tempted if you're a somebody about to graduate college. Yeah, you know, you're gonna get this six-figure job, or you're gonna be getting this nice high-paying job. Don't go buy something stupid. Don't do it. And if you have done it, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get you to where you need to be. But please, the point of what I'm trying to stress right now is don't add on to what you already got. If you're already in a bad situation, you don't go compound a bad situation by adding on to the bad situation. So you got a certain amount of debt. Maybe you bought a car. Like I bought a car. I owe like $13,000 on a car. Okay. Maybe you did something like that. Or maybe it's just a couple $1,000s on a credit card. The point is stop. Whatever it is, if you're about to go click over to Amazon, stop. Just stop. Okay. So the point that I'm making now that we got that out the way, the point that needs to be discussed, the reason why you want to pay off. So here's the thing about debt. Debt restricts your mobility. You cannot move freely when you have debt. I give you guys a micro example, and I'm gonna give you a macro example. For those of you that don't know micro and macro, big, small, big, micro, small, macro, big. So we're gonna go with the small example first. With my car, I'm gonna take the car for example. I owe $13,000 on the car. The payment is amortized over 72 months, 6 years. And they have me at an interest rate. I got a nice interest rate for that particular car and the model and all that, 4.5%. And the payment is like $235 a month. Okay. So here's what I mean by micro restriction. So $235 a month, you know, multiply 235 times 12. So 235 times 12, that's 235 times 12. That's about $3,000. Okay. $3,000 that's going into a car every year to pay for it. Okay. So here's the issue. Here's the issue. Think about what else you could be doing within your budget with that 235. You can't move a certain way. Like, let's say with that 235, you might want to go to the movies every weekend. Or you might want to decide to go get your hair cut every weekend. I mean, whatever it is, think of what you could do with $235. Or you might decide, hey, I want to put this extra $235 into the stock market. Whatever it is, I cannot do that with the money because it's being allocated towards debt. Now, if I pay off my debt, then I got more mobility with my money. I can do more now because I got $235 freed up. I can go do more. If I want to go put that in the market, if I want to go get my haircut every weekend, if I want to go to the movies every weekend, if I want to buy my girlfriend something, like whatever it is, I got more mobility because I don't have debt. I paid the car off. Okay, so the second thing, we're going to go to a macro example. Debt is like a bondage. So this is a very small example. I mean, $235 is not really a big deal. You know, even if I wanted to just keep the payment, you know, for the perpetuity of the loan, $235 is not going to make a difference in my life. It's not. I mean, I factor that into my living expenses. So I'm not going to lose sleep over $235. But let's take a bigger example. Let's say you got somebody who bought a house. Okay. Let's say they bought a really nice house, you know, out in the suburbs, you know, really nice 2 stories, you know, 5 bedrooms, you know, 3 bathrooms, nice size garage, big yard, you know, big backyard. You know, they probably maybe the house is probably like 4,000 square feet. The lot is probably like 8,000 square feet. Like they just got a really nice house, everything new, you know, straight from the ground up. You know, they built it specialized to what they wanted. Okay. So now this person, the purchase price for that house they might have paid in this market, the average house, across the United States, the average house is $500,000. You guys can do the research. You don't believe me? You can look up the average home price in the United States. It's about $400,000 to $500,000. So we're gonna just take the latter. We ain't even gonna say five. We're gonna say $400,000. Okay. So if you got $400,000 worth of debt, your mobility is greatly restricted now, because that's a large amount of debt. And we're going to go, just to illustrate what I'm saying, I'm going to pull up an amortization calculator for 30 years. I'm going to pull up an amortization calculator for 30 years on a house like that. I'm going to show you guys. So let's say we put 25 on this house. Let's say your friend, they put 25% down. So we're going to multiply 400,000 times 0.25. So let's just say put 25%. 25%, that's $100,000. So you're gonna finance with the bank, whoever you get to finance, you're gonna finance $300,000. We're not gonna factor in closing costs. We ain't gonna do none of that. We just gonna say um $300,000, is what they finance with the bank. So we got a 30-year note. I'm putting all of this in the calculator as we're speaking. We got a 30-year note, and interest rates right now are at about 7%. So we're gonna go with 7%. They might end up being like 10%, but right now we're just gonna go, for this example, we're gonna say 7%. So we got a monthly payment of $2,000 a month that's going into this house, right? So the house, right? We just gonna take that. We're not even gonna talk about taxes. We ain't gonna talk about insurance. We ain't gonna talk about maintenance. We just gonna take that payment of $2,000, and that's what we're gonna use as our point of discussion. So $2,000, they didn't put 25% down. They didn't empty out their savings, right? They're obligated for 30 years to pay $2,000 every month. The bank is expecting 360 payments from your friend who bought this house. So the thing is, with this type of debt lingering over your head, you don't have mobility. If you got a good job, whatever kind of job they had when they applied for that loan, they have to be secure in that. They have to stay in that, because they got to make sure they can pay this house. You know, when you don't have a house note, when you don't have debt, it might be something you want to try. Like some people might want to start a business. You might be somebody who want to start a business, or maybe you want to go to school. You can't really do that when you got $2,000 obligation that you gotta meet every month. And that's just on the low end. I mean, taxes. I mean, when you start talking about a house, and I talked about this in the rent versus buy conversation. When you start talking about a house, I mean, you're talking about, man, for this kind of house, 5 bedrooms and all of that, man. I mean, you probably gonna spend another $1,500 just in taxes, maintenance, insurance, and just ongoing utilities expenses and all that. You're gonna spend an extra $1,500. So you got $3,500. You can't move how you want to move. You can't do as you please because you got this kind of debt over you. The same thing. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Let's just say you decide to buy, those people who want to buy those really big Super Duty trucks and stuff. They spend $100,000. Um, I'll never forget. I was at the dealership. I think I was trying to sell my car back to the dealership, and I'll never forget. It was um, it was a guy who was buying a 3/4 ton truck, dually. I think it was a Ford. I think it was at a Ford or a GMC, one of the two. They about the same price, and he was ecstatic. He spent $100,000, about to go $100,000 in debt, and he happy as can be. So let's just say you got $100,000 vehicle. That's a $1,200, $1,300 note. You can't, when you have high amounts of debt. The point I'm trying to make, the point I'm trying to illustrate. When you have high amounts of debt, you can't move freely as you want to, because you got to pay these people. You got to pay who trusted you to borrow this money. You see? And if you ain't got certain things in place, right? You ain't got assets that can pay this note. If you ain't got assets that can pay your house note, your labor is your asset, and you have to pay that yourself. And so you can't move freely when you have high amounts of debt. So that's what debt does. This is why you need to pay off debt after you get an emergency fund established. You need to pay off debt because it's going to allow you to move freely. It's something that you want to do, you can do it. That extra $235, who knows? That could be all you need to start your business. That extra $235, that might be all you need to start going to school. You see what I'm saying? Like whatever it is, that might be that difference, that money that you're otherwise spending on debt could be literally the difference in all you need to reach the points, the dreams that you're trying to get to. So you want to get out of debt. It's very imperative that you strive to get out of debt after you've established an emergency fund. Don't get on to investing before you pay off debt. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. So debt costs money. This is the last point that I'm gonna make, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. Debt costs money. Typically, like for me, I'm blessed. I got good credit. I got 700-800 credit score. You know, so I can go on a bank. Especially before the interest rates had gotten pretty high. I was able to go on a bank and get a loan on a nearly 10-year car, 4.5%. That's unheard of for a car the age that my car is at 2014. You're looking at minimum, even with a good credit score, you're looking at minimum 6 or 7%. And that's what they was throwing at me when I was in the finance office. That's what they was throwing at me first. Yeah, Mr. Malone, we can get you 6%. Mr. Malone, we can get you 7%. Oh no, bye. I'm leaving. I'm not paying that much money in interest. I'm not doing it. I don't care. The car could be back made when dinosaurs were here. I don't care how old it is, because they try to explain, well, Mr. Malone, the car. I don't care. Here is the interest rate that I'm gonna pay, and either y'all can get it for me or y'all can't. When I was getting ready to leave the dealership, they got the interest rate down to what I wanted it to be. I actually had to leave the dealership. They called me back, said they called the underwriter and told the underwriter, hey, we got somebody who's credit worthy. You ain't got to worry about it. And he gave me that 4.5%, but I had to leave. I was gone. I already came back home. I said, I'll be back tomorrow, the next day, to get the car. And I came back and got it. Signed my name for 4.5%. But the point that I'm making is that debt typically is going to cost a lot of money, especially now. Interest rates. This was before interest rates started coming up. Interest rates are high now. You definitely, this is not the time to try to incur any kind of debt, because you going to pay. Right now, I have to understand, if I was to go buy a car right now, I couldn't sit up here and command 4.5%. Even with the best of credit, I couldn't get 4.5% no more. I couldn't get it. You're not going to get that with these kind of interest rates. I would be lucky if I bought the same car today. I'd be lucky. I would be doing good to get 6 or 7. I'd be doing good, and I would, be happy with that, and I would take that, even with my credit standing. So the point that I'm making is debt costs money, and in these high interest rates environments, it's going to really cost money. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Don't go get more debt. Pay off what you got and be done with that. But it costs money. Even if you take a credit card, we're not even talking about traditional amortized loans. You take a credit card. Credit cards are really absurd. Anybody that's carrying a balance on a credit card and you not getting some kind of promotion where it's like no interest, please pay it off. Do a balance transfer. Something. Y'all got, the bank is going to eat you up on 20% interest. You can't win. You can't win. You can't win on that. You can't win. So, shoot. I'm sorry, y'all. The point that I'm making is that you want to get rid of debt because it costs you money. And so I'm going to go and make this comparison and I'm be done. Like I made in the last video when I was talking about having an emergency fund. Everybody's going to tell you The opportunity cost. Well, what if you could make 10% on your money? The fact of the matter is, even if you can make 10% on your money, that's up in the air. You may make 10%, you might not. But you know the bank is going to charge you, in the instance of my car payment, I'm locked in for 6 years at 4.5%. So I know if I pay my debt off, I know I can save myself 4.5% a year. I just, by paying my car off, I just made 4.5% on my money. The stock market, yeah, the statistics say that you'll make 10%, but it's not guaranteed. Ain't nobody got a crystal ball to see what the stock market gonna do. It might, like this past year, everybody thought stock market gonna keep going all time high, all time high. No, stock market shows you we ain't had enough, and so it's been down over 20%, close to 20%, or over 20%. So you don't know what the market gonna do, but I know what this bank gonna do. They gonna charge me 4.5%. I know what this credit card gonna do. They gonna charge me 20%. So that's how you get ahead. You save yourself money by paying off your debt. That's how you make money. You make money by paying debt off. You can literally make 20% by just paying your debt off. Because otherwise, you paying the bank 20%, or you paying the car payment people 4.5%. So that's how you get ahead in life. You get your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses. Then you pay your debt off, all of it. Don't go get more debt. I'm telling y'all young, y'all ain't got no debt. Hey, don't go get none. Don't do it. I'm trying to tell y'all from somebody who's done it. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. I know that big shiny car. It's not worth it. I'm telling you, go get you a cash car and put money into it. Make it how you want it. Do not go buy no car. Do not go and listen to these people. They ask me all the time when I go in these stores, hey, would you like to apply? Nope, I'm good. Let me see. I got 3 credit cards. I got 2 personal credit cards and one that's one that's for my corporation. That's it. I don't need have 10, 20 credit cards. What I need all that for? That just give me more money to make me feel like I got some money to spend. Nope, I don't even need them. And I'm telling y'all, to get good credit, you don't need all that. They're gonna try to tell you, oh well, you can build your credit and this and that. Nope, you don't need all that. Y'all want me to tell y'all how to build credit? I can tell you how I did it. I can tell you how I went from 0 to 700. I can tell you how I went from 0 to close to 800. Let me pull my credit up right now. I ain't see y'all think I'm out here telling y'all a lie. I'm telling y'all the truth out here, man. It takes diligence. But you ain't gotta go buy no car. You ain't gotta go do stupid stuff to get good credit. You ain't gotta do that. Look at that. Look at that. 739, 742. 24 years old. Credit Karma sent me a message the other day. They said you got a higher credit rating than 50% of the people your age. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to tell y'all. Don't go get no debt. Don't do. I've done it. I've done it for you so you don't have to do it. It's stupid. I could be so much further ahead in my life as far as money if I didn't do stupid stuff. I could be sitting right now. I'm trying to tell y'all. I probably could have like $100,000 in the bank account right now at 24. Now I'm gonna probably have that in the next 3 years, 3, 4 years, 2, 3 years maybe. But I would be sitting if I didn't do stupid stuff with my money, like buying cars and doing stuff like that. I'd have $100,000 minimum right now at 24. Because I've made good money over the years while I was working. I was staying with my parents. I ain't had no living expenses, but I was doing stupid stuff. So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Hey, don't do stupid stuff. I've done it. Don't do it. I'm trying to tell you, don't do it. I've done it. So don't do it, please. But anyways, I'm gonna get up out of here. That's all I had to say. That's all I had for the live. Guys, got any questions? Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Send me a comment. Whatever you need, I'm here. But until the next time, my name is Joseph, and I'm out. Peace.